It's not historic Brawl, it's prehistoric Brawl.
Only shooting stars break the mold.
Hello everybody and welcome to Brawl Stars. I'm Amy the Amazonian and today I am playing the big fearsome dinosaur Etali, Primal Conqueror. Etali has been very good in all of the formats it's playable in since it came out in March of the Machines. Etali Primal Conqueror is a guaranteed 7/7 with trample. Now, if that was not enough, it also takes the top spell of your library and your opponent's library and lets you cast them for free. And if maybe that wasn't enough for you, you can also pay 9 mana and a Phyrexian green mana to transform Etali into, my goodness, it's a Blightsteel Colossus. It doesn't have Infect, but it's got something kind of like Infect. It's an 11/11 with trample and indestructible, and when it deals combat damage, it applies poison counters, which means that you can still defeat your opponent with the 11 power, or you can kill them with 11 poison. Because it only takes 10 to kill, you may as well have 1 extra, right? Etali is fantastic as a Gruul ramp target, so this deck is built with lots of Gruul ramp. There are some ways to also get repeated activations of Etali's enter the battlefield. For me, I can only make copies with Delina in this deck, but there's a few other clone cards that don't let you keep things around. The big problem here is making a copy of a legend. You can use Jaxus and things like that, but you'll have to sacrifice one of them to the legendary role. Etali, though, incredibly powerful, really carries this deck on its own, but I still want to do Gruul stompy things because I love creatures, I love Gruul. So we have some really powerful creatures that if we happen to hit these for free off of Etali's Enter the Battlefield ability, we will be very happy campers. But we can also just ramp into them because they're very powerful. If we don't end up getting them set up quite right, we can even cheat the creatures into play using the Howlpack Piper and continue our happy ramping way using things like the Sword of Forge and Frontier. Sorry, I'm so used to calling this the Sword of Mountain Dew and Doritos, and all of the various Gruul ramp spells. Yeah, there's a lot of ramp in green. Did you know that? There's also some ramp in red. If you're building, by the way, a creature-based red deck, or even just an aggressive red deck, you need to put Ragavan in your deck. This card is so good. Just put it everywhere. It's my favorite monkey. Put this in your decks. So we're going to take Etali into the queue and cast a free spell or two. Ragavan, Nimble, Pilferer. It's a monkey. It steals cards, and it makes treasures, and it's my friend. I go first with this hand, but I am defensively not that great here. I do have an early Augur of Autumn, which can block for me. But there's a good chance that this is going to be getting removed. Still going to keep this hand, go for the turn 2 Ornithopter, turn 3 Augur, or maybe something bigger if I happen to get it. Oh, the booties! I'm going to go for the Ornithopter, get this on the battlefield. Not a good block here, but they might end up using removal on this. Hee monkey. Hopefully they don't steal my removal. That'd make me sad. Arcane Signet, Llanowar Courier. I'm able to block the Llanowar Courier at least with the Ornithopter Paradise. And it's going to be building up a little goodie bag, a bunch of treats. Nice Glorybringer you can't cast. I mean, that was my Glorybringer, but can't always get what we want. Augur of Autumn comes into play. We have a forest on top of her deck. I'll get it. Rhythm of the Wild is what they would be stealing with Ragavan if they make contact here. It's a good card. They have removal for this. They're going to use it. Yep, Brittle Bast. This exiles my Augur of Autumn. And they're going to be stealing Rhythm of the Wild. I actually think that they should play this. If they can, they can. They have 2 treasures here. They have a land. They're choosing not to. They'd rather not have bigger, hastier creatures. They're just going to stomp my ramp and get it out of play. Would I like a 4-drop or a 5-drop? I'm gonna go for a 4-drop here. Settle the Wilds. A Beast Whisperer. Play another land, and we're gonna get hit again next turn. the turn after that, sure, they'll have treasures. Sure, they'll have stolen my cards. I'll have a monkey of my very own. I'll have an ape dinosaur turtle. These are creature types that are totally normal to smush together. Looks like they hit a land. Elder Dragon War. Oh, you should do chapter 1. For no reason. It would have destroyed 2 of their creatures. Alright, they dropped a mountain, and they got a Mox Amber. And I play Ape. Kogla and Yadaro. I'm gonna fight the Professional Facebreaker because it has Menace. I can't block it, and it's giving them a lot of treasures. Next turn, they will have a 4/4 dragon, but I will also have a 4/4 dragon. Or maybe a 7/7 dinosaur. It might not have reach, but who needs reach when we're stealing creaties? Faceless Haven, another monkey for the attack. I feel like they're going to swing in with the courier and sacrifice it, seeing as it has a bunch of nice creatures under it. I'm going to be blocking Ragavan, though, even though this lets them get 1 damage in here. I don't want them stealing my cards. These are my cards to steal. I want my cards, and I want them now. Gonna sack it. Playing the Bone Crusher Giant. Passing the turn, playing the monkey. If they're just building things up, they still do have 1 red here off the Mox Amber, so they can sacrifice that if they'd like. Here comes Etali. We'll see what we steal. And we reveal Vivian, Monsters Advocate, and Sticky Fingers. Oh, adorable. I am going to give Kogla and Yadaro Sticky Fingers. And me, Vivian, Monsters Advocate. I can't block this, but I can make little guys with reach. Reach. A reach creech. And I kind of want to play aggressively. I'm going to swing in with Kogla and Yadaro. The Menace means that it's a little trickier to block. We get a treasure token. And that treasure is going to help me do big Gruul stuff, like Goldspan Dragon, Paradise Druid, Use Whisperer, who knows? I've got so many choices. I'm also totally fine with them killing Vivian, because any damage dealt to her is damage not dealt to me. Access Tunnel. Unblockable Monkey? Unblockable Monkey. We know what card's on top of our deck, thanks to Vivian. It is a Paradise Druid, so not anything too scary. I'll block and block. They sacrifice and they get 5 cards in hand. A full hand refill off of a 1-drop. Paradise Druid, would you like to cast it? It's a creature. You love those. You love creatures. We both love creatures. Cliffhaven Kite Sail. The giant has learned how to fly. We have a Kami of Bamboo Groves in hand. Got this Beast Whisperer. I'm going to minus by Vivian. Cast Goldspan Dragon. I've already got treasures. I've got a way to make more. But I want to cause some problems. Yeah, problems. We're gonna get these boots. I'm gonna throw them on this lovely Delina right here. And I think everybody's going in. I would like to have a multitude of Etalis. High roll, let's go. 19, we're gonna get 1 Etali, then another Etali. 2 extra Etalis. That's 2 more 7/7s with trample. And 4 more spells being cast for free. Let's go with the Questing Beast. Sure. And Brotherhood, and... yeah, I'll start blasting. It kills Delina, but it gets rid of all their blockers. That's going to be a lethal swing. Good game. We didn't even get to see what we stole off the second Etali. Liliana of the Veil. She makes you sacrifice, she makes you discard, and she is very scary. Also, because she is able to be played pretty much on turn 1 if there's a Dark Ritual, turn 3 otherwise. I want to make sure that I have some early cards. And early cards I did get. I have Mephit's Enthusiasm, which can deal damage to a Planeswalker. Domri, Anarch of Bolas, who can make things uncounterable. Not that black has many counter spells in Arena. Doesn't have any. Ooh, Delina and a Goreclaw for later on. I'm gonna go ahead and play Domri, Anarch of Bolas, and I will plus. Domri on his own is not that scary, but he gives me access to fight abilities, he gives me ramp, and he makes my creatures stronger. Sheesh, what a card! I'm a big fan also of this can't be countered text. There's a lot of people out here who play blue, and I can't be bothered to deal with them. Okay, a Graveyard Trespasser. If we want to hit this, we will have to pay life. And I understand this. I get this. And I will pay life. Am I sure? I'm sure. Ward, discard a card. Oh no! Not my... Delina! I have a Tangled Florahedron. A perfect thing for you to make me sacrifice. Oh, they cut it down. Liliana, you want to come out? You wait long enough, I'm going to start getting creatures with haste. Ooh, Hero's Downfall. They have killed Domri. Hey, that gives haste. If I play Goreclaw, she will be killed. That's okay. I play her anyway. Hi, Liliana.
This is my home.
Do you plus or minus?
I've always hated crowds.
Oh, no, I'm 1 short. If only we could have our Vorinclex here. We discard our Verdant Rejuvenation. Fun as this card is, I can't play it right now. Phyrexian Arena gives them additional card draw. And Evolved Sleeper is a little nap time baby boy who eventually will be getting big and scary. But for now, he's just a little guy. And he's a little guy who just isn't very good at blocking tramplers. Vorinclex comes in and hits Liliana. And now if they replay her, or any other Planeswalker, it will be getting half the counters it normally gets. Evolved Sleeper also has an ability that puts +1/+1 counters on it, and that will just not put +1/+1 counters, so long as Vorinclex is out. If they replay Liliana, she'll come in with 1 loyalty, which is just actively bad. It means she cannot make me sacrifice, she can only make us symmetrically discard. The Sleeper gets bigger. He gets Death Touch with his next activation. Rage, would you like to sacrifice a land, a creature, or an enchantment? I don't have any enchantments. Cool. Paradise Druid. Paradise Druid protects itself quite a bit just by having hexproof. It also gives me another creature to sacrifice if they have something that makes sacrificing happen. Good bonkin'. Lose a life, draw a card. I want this Paradise Druid to stay alive, though. Because Etali costs 7, and she gives me that 7th mana. Glint Sleeve Siphoner! Nice! This draws cards in black. Little evasive guy. Do you sacrifice? No, okay. It's Etali time! What kind of cards do you think we'll get? I got Turn Timber Symbiosis from me and Dread Wanderer from them. We'll grab that Dread Wanderer and see what we hit in the top 7 cards in my library. It's going to be any creature. What could it be? Are you going to cut down? Fatal Push. That's fine. Goldspan or Oracle? Goldspan lets me immediately play Llanowar Elves. Oracle of Moldiah has the chance of getting me a bunch of lands. Land secured! Here comes Llanowar Elf. They will have a Death Toucher soon, and Death Touch does beat, you know, big stompy creature. But since we have Trample, we'd still be able to get some damage in. Thinking. Hello? I thought once too. It went terribly. Oh, sup, Liliana?
Let us march into battle and make new comrades.
They're making a zombie. If their creatures die, they'll now draw a card. Would you like to sacrifice a zombie? Draw a card? They said no. They would not. I'm going to channel my Kami of Bamboo Groves to get 2 forests. And then I'm going to play those forests. Keep my hand and my head empty. I'll swing Etali at Liliana. Boop, boop.
How uncivilized.
You draw a card. But we're set up now to be able to replay Etali if it dies. Or transform it next turn. The transform, ooh, the indestructible. They have a lot of ways to make me sacrifice, but it's just such a way to win. It's also like 11 damage. I feel like a lot of times I put a lot of focus on the fact that the poison happens. It also just kills. Dread Wanderer, by the way, that is their card. It goes to their graveyard, and if their hand is empty enough, they'll be able to put it back into play. Gutterbones! Hi, G-Bones! A Swarm Saboteur. They're not using ninjutsu to get this out. I don't have any cards to discard, so the Virus Beetles are a little less useful. But this has Death Touch, and this will probably get Death Touch. No! They killed the Oracle. No more playing lands off the top until we get the Oracle of Autumn. Not Oracle. Augur of Autumn next turn. No blocks. No whammies. They sacrifice. That draws them more cards. Gets them closer to some potential removal.
Waste not, want not.
We're flipping. Done. Indestructible. And you got a block. Etali, Primal Sickness. Indestructible. Still sacrificable, though. Thankfully, this Liliana is only at 3 loyalty. If she was at 4, it would be a lot scarier. So they're preventing 5 of that damage, going to 7 life, and getting 6 poison? Ooh, yeah. 6 poison. The arena loses them another life. Their hand is full. They have 8 cards in hand. They can definitely make me sacrifice at least one thing. Liliana of the Veil is sure to do that. Shambling Ghast. Oh! If they can kill their own Shambling Ghast, they could kill the Llanowar Elf, or they could just use Life of Toshiro Umezawa, and then force me to sacrifice Etali. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a good move. It hurts a lot, but all's fair in love and war.
With the mysteries.
Also, I want to play Etali again.
Sacrifice.
Etali returns to the command zone, costs 9 mana. And guess who has 9 mana? This guy. Hello, I'm Emrakul. How are you? Don't worry, I'm sure. Let's see, what kind of cards do we have in hand? Description of Ruin. It says target opponent. Target player. Alright, alright. We're gonna sacrifice some creatures. This is going to kill my Emrakul, but that's fine. Yeah. Plunder from Down Under. The Soul Guide Lantern. Each player will discard a card here, I think.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Aw, dang. Aw, there goes. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy a land here, too. Just so they can't use it on my battlements. I can decline, fail to find. Perfect! Alright, it's your turn. Could I have used Castle Lochthwain for lethal? Oh yes, I guess I could have. That was a comment from my chat. Listen, I like to take as many activations as I can. And this was pretty fun. This was pretty fun. Who needs lethal when you can take game actions? Tali's a game action. What do we steal? I got Glorybringer and Power Word Kill. We kill it. It's not an angel. It's not a demon. It's not even a dragon. Oh, and they went for the Castle Lochthwain death on themselves before I could attack in with Glorybringer. GG. Clothis, God of Destiny. She exiles cards from the graveyard in order to either deal damage or ramp. Speaking of ramp, I don't have any in my hand, with the sort of exception of Goreclaw. That makes this hand a little bit awkward, but I think still keepable. And keep it I shall. We have a lot of different ramp cards in our deck. I feel like we have a pretty good chance of drawing them. And even if we don't, we've got this Cabaret Rebels. That's a great card. We'll be able to play it in just a turn. And then when we start casting creatures, we'll almost certainly get ramp, because almost all of our small creatures are ramp. Clothis, by the way, is an indestructible god, but she's only a creature if their devotion is 7 or greater. Their devotion specifically to red and green. Alright, speaking of green, here's a Castle Garenbrig and Cabaret Rebels. They've got more mana than me, so they've definitely hit the ramp train first. Choo-choo. Ooh, Domri! This is the Riot Domri. This Domri ults, and I'm going to try to stop him from ulting. Some scary things can happen. Let's get Goreclaw out in the battlefield. Goreclaw is going to discount my commander, Etali. Alright, so we hit Arboreal Grazer, which unfortunately didn't see any lands in hand. But we have Goreclaw, who's going to make my power 4 or greater creatures all cost 2 less. That makes her very much a target. Yep, so they killed her. Lava Coil. Otherwise, it could have been Kogla, Glorybringer, or Etali in a turn or two. Clothis! Oh, she's looking rather stellar there. Where did the Clothis go? There's supposed to be a lady on there. Where's the lady? This is fine. I guess we don't need the lady. I'm gonna grab a forest because we have a Nissa in hand, and I'm going to stare at Domri and his ability to ultimate in a turn and a half. Hey, Clothis. Yes, you have a very sparkly background, but I want to see you. I want to see you and your big scales. They also have Nutvold's Slumber Mound here, which is an instant speed land destruction. Looks like they're not going for it. But they could have done that. They could have made a troll and blasted my mana. Hi, Chandra. You want a -3? It's cool if you do. I mean, I didn't say I liked it, but I said it's cool. I can do Nissa, a hit, and then Loamspeaker, or Goblin Anarchomancer. I'm gonna grab the Sheltered Thicket. It is a forest. We have to hit Domri because he is otherwise able to ult, and I don't think I'd be able to race the ultimate ability. Here comes the Goblin Anarchomancer. It's gonna grab me a 1-cost creature, Ragavan. It was either going to be Ragavan, Kami of Bamboo Groves, or Llanowar Elvish Mystic. There's only so many choices here. They do have the Nutvold Slumber Mound, which they can use to destroy a creature. Because, well, this land is a creature. Clothius is now once again a creature!
This ain't gonna be one of those quiet riots.
Ooh. And an Ox of Agonis with Riot! Does it have haste? Nope, a +1/+1 counter. They discard their hand, it was just a Timber Gorge in there, and they draw 3 new cards. Chandra, if they plus, is going to give me an emblem, which means I'll take a damage in each of my upkeeps. But instead, they're going for the -3. This, by the way, is an elemental. These two are dating, which makes it harder for them to destroy each other's creatures. Not Domri. Chandra and Nissa. They love each other very much. And I'm here for it. Ooh, Kogla and Yadaro, huh? Yes, please. Or do I just want to go for Etali? Yeah, I'll go for Etali. Less damage on Domri, but ooh, so many fun cards here. Cabaret Rebels, because we did cast Oracle of Moldiah, gets us even more cards into play. Forge, we're going to deal some damage there. I'm going to untap this snow-covered forest. I will go to combat, hit Domri with the snow-covered forest. And now we're going to unleash more creatures onto the battlefield. Llanowar Elf, go! I have no 0-cost creatures. But imagine if I did. Imagine. Clothius gaining 2 life, bapping me. If they have a damage-based board wipe, that would stink. But it would also be unlikely to kill Etali because he is a 7/7. With the exception of, I guess, the one that deals 20 damage. Yeah, 20 damage would still do it. Demanding Dragon demands that I sacrifice a creature, and I will say yes. And I'm going to sacrifice the Elvish Mystic rather than take 5 damage to my face. The Star of Extinction could definitely be in their deck, especially with an indestructible commander like this. Nice. The Gruul Spellbreaker. And the Demanding Dragon swings in and hits Nissa. Brings her down to 2 loyalty. But she's still doing okay right now. I like Kogla and Yadaro as a play here. I'm going to tap. Untap. I'm making my lands very vulnerable here, but they're so fun. Kogla and Yadaro. We can either fight or get trample and haste. I will fight. And I'm going to fight the Demanding Dragon. Bonk! How about a Glory Bringer next? Get the Howlpack Piper into play. And I think our opponent is saying, oh, wait a minute. You can destroy my Spellbringer, which means this isn't a creature, which means you're swinging in for so much damage, you're killing my Planeswalker. What am I to do? The answer? Die. Nicol Bolas, the Ravager. He makes me discard when he enters the battlefield, and that's just rude. This hand is okay. I have Augur of Autumn, I guess, on turn 3, but I think I'd rather have something faster. And this hand is definitely faster. We have a lot more turn 2 ramp here. Between the Ornithopter, the Armored Scrapgorger, and the Paradise Druid. I will play, to start, Forest. Very exciting, I know. It taps for green mana. I bet you've never seen one of these before. Nicol Bolas the Ravager also has the ability to transform into Nicol Bolas the Arisen, who is considerably scarier. I'm gonna get down the Paradise Druid. If they have a sacrifice-based effect or a counterspell, yes, they can get rid of it, but it has hexproof when it's untapped, which makes it a little bit harder for early removal to take out. Ooh, an experimental augury. Thankfully, there's nothing for them to proliferate here. Nope. Nothing to proliferate. They do get to essentially anticipate, though. Look at the top 3 cards, grab one of them, put it into hand. They're probably going to be getting some nice, handy-dandy creature removal. Or counterspells, or both. Castle Garenbrig. If I want to kind of go for the long con, I like this East Whisperer. Do I think that they're going to be wiping my board in the next turn, though? Double committing these Ornithopter and Armored Scrapgorger is a riskier play if they have removal, but if they don't, this is Etali next turn. Hello there, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. Would you like to come into play? Lapis Orb of Dragonkind. Oh, and Ashiok. Ashiok stops me from searching my library, which disables Topiary Stomper, and also can exile both cards from my deck and my graveyard. But they're not doing anything with it. So it's time for Etali! Tapping all the way out. Here comes Etali. And we steal Elder Gargaroth and a counterspell. Okay, no, I don't want that. Still very susceptible to a board wipe since we didn't get anything that was straight up enter the battlefield value, beyond, you know, getting the extra Elder Gargaroth, which this is pretty sweet. Doing all this on 4 lands. That was our turn 4, by the way. Nicol Bolas. If you are played, you will get to scry. And if you are played, I'm going to drop Topiary Stomper because I can't search my library. Ooh, Tezzeret the Schemer. Could this be Grixis Super Friends? This can get some ramp using the Ethereum cells. These are treasures. They mill and exile my graveyard. No! Kogla, my beloved! You would dare hurt my beautiful boy like that? Well, then you must die. I am going to... Can I not pay 9? Okay, I can only pay the 8 plus the 2 life. That's fine. I'm gonna kill you with Etali. But not the regular way of killing you with Etali. This way. We transform Etali. He has 11 power, he deals 11 damage, and he gives 11 poison. GG, Nicol Bolas the Ravager. In a way, I have 2 lands here, but I don't have anything that costs 2 mana other than the boots. Totally not worth it. Because we're up against Ragavan, and I need to act early and often. Let's hit this mulligan. This is a lot better. I have removal for Monkey. I have a blocker for Monkey. But they're going first, and okay, it looks like they're going to go for the dash rather than just playing it out on turn 1. Well, here's my turn 1. It's a land, and it comes in tapped. Ragavan, when it swings in, is going to be getting them treasure and stealing the top card of my deck. Hello there, Ragavan. Bomat Courier also is going to be exiling off of their deck and building up like a little mysterious goodie bag, which they can then sacrifice the courier in order to get. If I play the Caryatid, that does give me the block, assuming they don't have removal. There's a bunch of cheap removal that typically goes in Ragavan decks, think lightning bolts and things like that. Mephit's Enthusiasm's probably in there too. Oh, or they don't even need to go because they've got a Lelia here. All right, so they also have removal for my ramp. Goodbye, plant. They burned my plant. Lelia exiles off the top. Bomat Courier exiles off the top. And I believe Lelia will trigger twice since 2 cards were exiled. Nice. I absolutely want to use this Enthusiasm on Lelia, because otherwise she's going to be getting so big every single turn. This Primal Courier has been adding up damage and adding up cards. Ragavan's coming out, dashing once again. Hitting for 2, getting that treasure, exiling. Cavalier of Thorns, they can't play it. Great card, though. I'm sad I won't have it. Okay, this time I do have a Lightning Bolt, and I could hold that open, but I'd rather ramp. Oracle of Moldiah lets me play lands off the top of my deck. If I had lands on top of my deck, Beast Whisperer, I was hoping I would get another red source and be able to use Lightning Bolt. But no, I'm not allowed to have Lightning Bolt. So we know it's a Beast Whisperer on top. They know it's a Beast Whisperer on top. Do I want to stop them from being able to steal that at the expense of Oracle of Moldiah? No, you know what? You can have my Beast Whisperer. Gets me closer to a monkey of my very own. Play it. Play it. It'll draw you a card whenever you dash. Play it. Nope, they're going for Ferocidon instead. This is going to stop life gain and deal damage when creatures enter the battlefield. For either player. Land? Land, sort of! It's a Temple of Abandon. Throw that to the bottom. Land. Okay, yes, technically a land. Trying to decide if I'm okay with taking the damage since I'm already fairly low here. Or if I want to save this Lightning Bolt, maybe take out the Courier. I'm going to Lightning Bolt the Ferocidon, and then play my Ragavan. Just a sweet little monkey. Mine is not dashing, though. Mine is just chilling. Skewer to critics. Everyone's a critic. Taking out Oracle of Moldiah. This is almost delirious. If it's delirious, it gets flying and it gets a lot stronger. Maybe they're planning on playing this defensively and sacrificing that Beaumont Courier. I'm going to block the Beaumont Courier with Ragavan. I expect them to sacrifice. Ragavan goes into their graveyard, but they can't resist getting 5 more cards. And also, look, the Dragon's Rage Channeler now hits for 3. See if they get another blocker or removal for Ragavan. They did. Fiery Impulse. We already knew it was on top, but I'm going to go for Kogla! It's just a good monkey. We have 6 now. This can get me my 7th. This acts as removal. And we're getting very, very close to Etali. Ragavan coming out. Not dashing. This is a land, but I would, like, need to shock it in to use it right away. Or bolt it in. I don't think that's worth it. I'm gonna go for Glorybringer. Glory, glory. Are they going to kill it? There are some 4 damage spells. Yep, Slaying Fire. Has to be green or red, red, red in order to kill. And I'll just play that as a land. Yeah, I didn't want to go down to 5 against mono red. In fact, this Slaying Fire would have brought me to 1, and then this Viashino Pyromancer would have killed me. I think I made the right choice here. Anyway, now it's Etali time. Etali comes into play, and we steal. From my deck, I receive that Selvala. From your deck, a Legion Warboss. I will take both of these, thank you. Selvala taps for loads of mana. Can turn 1 mana into 7 currently. And Legion Warboss at the start of my combat would have been spitting out a goblin that had to attack every turn. Going with Kogla. This can turn into an artifact, I believe, but it is not an artifact when it's just chilling as a land. With Selvala out here, we definitely can get Emrakul into play next turn. Oh, are they just going for any damage they can get? One in the air. I take it. What you got? Better not be a lava axe. Royal Eruption! Alright, so Selvala's dead. That cuts me off from Emrakul. But only for one turn. I think we actually just swing with everything since we do have some creatures we can defend with here. Put the pressure on. Kogla's going in. Etali's going in. We're going to play Gwenna. Armored Scrapgorger. And Llanowar Loamspeaker. 3 mana dorks. All hanging out. They got a land, which means that they're dead. We've got enough trample damage. We've got so many different attackers here. And we also have an Emrakul in our hand, which, you know, icing on the cake, right? Kalain! She makes a treasure, and she makes things big. When Kalain enters the battlefield, she gives you a treasure, and whenever you use treasures to cast creatures, those creatures get +1/+1 counters for each treasure used to cast them. So I expect to see treasures from our opponent. They're also in Rakdos colors, so I feel like an Incubation Druid is going to be a lot more likely to be destroyed than Highland Forest. We're going to go into the north. The reason why we're running some Snowlands in this deck, because even though Paper Magic has a ton of, like, grab a forest kind of cards at 2 mana, Arena does not. Historic Brawl is very lacking in 2 mana land-based ramp. Do I want to key to the archive? Do I want to cultivate, or do I want to go for double the dork, double the fun? I'm gonna go key to the archive. What do we get? Demonic Tutor, Doomblade, and Croson Grip. I don't want any of these. I'll take Croson Grip because it's one of my colors, and I'm gonna put it in my graveyard. All I care about is ramp. Amber. You can tap that for currently just red mana, but red and black if they get out Kalain. Prosper. They can also tap it for red and black. And Felden swings in for another 2. At each end step, Prosper is going to exile a card. If they cast a card from exile, then, well, they get a treasure. It's very good. I didn't get a land here, so no super early Etali. That is okay. If we go for Cabaret Rebels into Incubation Druid, we will almost certainly get a Llanowar Elf. Oh, that's fine. Llanowar Elf. Got it. It could have also been like Ragavan or Arboreal Grazer. Something I'd want. And the important thing is that we ramped. We ramped and ramped and ramped some more. They get a treasure. Rankle, when it hits my face, can choose between each player discarding a card, each player losing a life and drawing a card, and each player sacrificing a creature. That's any number of those. So, Rankle, kind of like a Planeswalker. What you gonna do, Rankle? I'm down with sacrificing. Well then, yeah, you should swing in too. I'm not blocking you. I take the hit. Oh no, my creature! It's gonna make me sacrifice my poor elf! It's okay, I still have 7 mana. They exile Blackleaf Cliffs. I play a land. Then I play Etali. Cabaret Rebels gives me a Glory Bringer. Glory, and we get Delina and Dreadhorde Butcher. Now, a little unfortunately, Henward Battlements was tapped as part of that, so I can't use it to give haste. But very fortunately, those are also cast, so we are just kind of unloading everything from our deck here. Oh, Monkey! I'll exert, swing in, and I'll blast Rankle off the board. That turn was very explosive. Dreadhorde Butcher gets a +1/+1 counter, and when it dies, it'll deal damage to it equal to its power to any target. But we have blockers. We have Monkey. We can play lands off the top of our deck. everything. Everything you could ever imagine and more. They do have snow-covered mountains, though. I was about to say, they probably have 2 board wipes in their deck, and one of them's Blood on the Snow. And any damage-based board wipes are not going to be enough to kill Etali. But I did see that they just got an Angrath's Rampage. Angrath's Rampage will be able to make me sacrifice Etali. They have 2 mana, these treasures. You go for it. I think you do. Angrath's Rampage, there is no more dinosaur. Move my commander to the command zone. Yup. I don't have enough mana to play this again, but I will in a turn. So we're going to cultivate. Boop. And doop. 1 into play, 1 into hand. Rhythm of the Wild makes my creatures unblockable and also can give them haste. Kind of like the battlements. Giving haste is always great. Do you riot or riot? Glory Bringer. No targets to destroy, but it is a Glory Bringer. And it can hit me for 4. Or they could just keep it back as a blocker, knowing I'm about to get a lot of haste ready. Nope, they're just hitting for 4. Cool. I am down to 11. That's notable. Etali. Wait, land first. Etali. Oracle of Moldiah. Oracle of Moldiah. Alright, so. Haste. Or +1 plus haste. Haste. That already has haste. Gargaroth, haste. Kami, haste. Inferno of Star Mounts. +1/+1 counter, it already has haste. And we're swinging in. I'll make card draw. And I'll pump up the Inferno. That's a big swing. And a lethal one at that. Good game, Kalane. Mono black with Professor Onyx, or should we say Liliana at the helm. Professor Onyx is a very, very scary planeswalker who makes you sacrifice creatures, can draw cards, or well, I should say, get a card into hand, and also has a Magecraft passive. That Magecraft passive is actually, I think, the biggest thing that's worth noting about it, because it can kill you suddenly. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, your opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life, which really rewards you for playing spells that otherwise come with a life cost. So maybe something like Murderous Rider. It can be hard to pay life over and over for something like Murderous Rider. You have to pay 2 life on top of any other mana costs. But if you're getting 2 life back, that really means very little. So we have our Elvish Mystic, our Armored Scrapgorger, and I've got another land ready for next turn. So Painful Bond is going to make some of their spells cost life, as I mentioned before. They're going to be able to pay for all these life costs because they'll be gaining lots of life back. Ooh. Phyrexian Arena, that's some extra card draw. Oracle of Moldiah. Exile that from their graveyard. We're going to take a look. Do I have a land on top? I do. Do I have another? No, that's fine. We're going to dash this monkey out. Ragavan comes into play, has haste. Hits for 2, exiles the top card of their deck. Keeley Archive. I'm so happy they don't have a Keeley Archive. I can't cast it here, but I'm so happy they don't have it. Also, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana next turn. You know what costs 7? It's my commander. I would love to have more of your cards. Yeah, you fed the swarm, but you didn't get rid of any of my mana-producing creatures. Which means that it's Etali time. Exile that Feed the Swarm from their graveyard. 2 oil now. Now let's steal something good! A Grim Tutor and a Cultivate. Alright, I will Cultivate and I will Grim Tutor. I'll pay the 3 life in order to get something that I think will be good. Nissa. I'm choosing Nissa. We're gonna ramp. We're gonna grab a Forest because Nissa. Because Nissa. So if they do manage to get out Professor Onyx, and they do have 5 mana currently, there's the 6, they can make me sacrifice Etali. Oh no! Oh, or they could just, like, exile it. They do have an artifact and enchantment, but they don't have any creatures in their graveyard. I can just play Etali again next turn, I think. Well, only if I got a land, and I didn't. I'm going to tap the Elvish Mystic and the Armored Scrapgorger. We'll exile more stuff out of our graveyard. Then tap some of these other sources here, leaving my forests gloriously untapped, so I can use them for horrible amounts of mana. Vorinclex, come on out! Now that Vorinclex is out, I want to plus, which is actually going to be a +2. And that's going to put 6 +1/+1 counters onto this mountain. We'll swing in for 14. Sorry, 12. I totally know what 6 + 6 is. I was, like, actually thinking in my head, oh, Ragavan can come out too. No, we can't. Not until after combat. Ah, you could have killed it before I did that animation. By the way, they're down to 5 life. 5 life, 4 now with the Phyrexian Arena. There's a lot of paying life for things in their deck. And Onyx could be gaining some of that life back, but she hasn't hit the battlefield yet. Eldest Reborn. I'm going to sacrifice my not actually a Llanowar Elf, and then I'm going to win the game, because I can just swing in for a lot of damage. GG, Liliana. Sorry, Professor Onyx. Loris of the Dream Den. Lots of little things being brought back from the graveyard. Loris lets our opponent recast things that cost 2 or less from their graveyard to the battlefield, but only permanents. And that has to be cast. No lands coming back. This means that they're probably going to be playing a lot of things and sacrificing a lot of things. Like this Shambling Ghast. Shambling Ghast, when it dies, either makes a treasure or gives a -1/-1 to another creature. Transmogrant's Crown is going to reward them for having their creatures die by turning them into little goodie bags of cards. Yeah! Whenever their equipped creature dies, they draw a card, but it also increases their damage quite a lot. They're swinging in for 3 instead of just 1. Uh-oh. Being cursed. They're making my commander cost 2 more. Well, thank goodness I'm a ramp deck. I'm gonna go ahead and play Beside You here and throw down Key to the Archives. Key to the Archive is going to give me, I don't know, some stuff. Do I care about any of this stuff? No, not really. I'll grab this Growth Spiral and I'm just gonna put it in the graveyard. I don't have any extra lands in hand, and I don't feel like trying to make sure keeping this in play just so I can cast that is worth it. Regrowth, same idea. Because we have Rhythm of the Wild, creatures can't be countered, but also, things are gonna have Riot. I have 6 mana right here. Don't want to just throw this Kogla into play. I want to destroy this Curse of Silence so I can get Etali out next turn. Neither. Let's go for Vivian. Vivian's going to let me spit out a creature. Oh, monkey. Go ahead and throw down a beast. Play Shattered Skull as a land. Kogla, the Titan Ape. If we give that haste, not only will it be fighting a creature, it'll also be destroying an artifact or enchantment. Fairgrounds Warden. No, my beast! Thankfully, 4 loyalty means that they cannot kill Vivian on this attack. Hi, Fairgrounds Warden. Oh, she's getting the stick. I will release the beast. This one will have vigilance. Haste, please. Thank you. I'm gonna blast that Fairgrounds Warden. Because we can. Also because I want to get a lot of damage into play. Curse of Silence, be gone! I can now play Etali next turn. We managed to get 12 mana, too. Finale of Devastation. Ooh, the big buff. Just a great payoff for Gruul Ramp. Sure. You get a treasure, you get a card, and you can come back from the graveyard if they decide to play Lurrus. No, they're killing my monkey! Sorry, my ape. No tail. Poor Kogla. My poor sweet Kogla. Now I'm going to have to use more cards in more regular ways. Let's go for Etali. Let's give Etali haste. Gotta go fast. We already know what we're getting off our deck. Mind Stone. Ooh, and a Fracture from them. I can pay the 1. I will have to pay the 1, though. I'll Fracture their Esper Sentinel. Can I pay the 1? Boop. GG, Lurrus of the Dream Den. It's Mardu Reanimator, helmed by Cruxa and Kunaros. This is a deck that I'm hoping to build soon because it seems terrifying. On enter the battlefield or on attack, if you exile 5 cards from your graveyard, you can bring back another creature from your graveyard into play. This is repeatable, it's quick, it's fast, and it plays so nicely with all of the cards in these colors that put cards into your graveyard. You fill your graveyard up, and then you end up just bringing back the big scary demons and angels and dragons. I mean, there's other things in these colors too, but when I see Mardu and I think big creatures, I think of Gaea. I think of demons and angels and dragons. Turn 1, Grazer. Gets me more land. They're ramping too. That's an Arcane Signet. Well, I could go with Lotus Cobra, or I could go with Selvala. Right now, Selvala is actually not that rampy, just because I don't have other creatures in play. I'm gonna get down the Lotus Cobra. Castle Garenbrig. And use that to play the boots. We can still play Selvala next turn, maybe even give her haste. And Hexproof. Undead Butler fills up their graveyard and lets them bring a creature from their graveyard back into their hand when it dies. Oh, tutors and rituals. I'm glad that they didn't get that ritual first. So here comes the orb. The orb is going to be milling both of us. Now, me getting milled, not that big. Them getting milled, absolutely massive. As they get milled, it's going to be filling up their graveyard. And as they fill up their graveyard, they will both get targets to reanimate. They're actually really missing creatures right now. And also fuel for that exile. Yes, yes. Many cards go into my graveyard. I'm a Gruul deck. I don't do that much graveyard stuff. Beast? I didn't get a land. Had I gotten a land, ooh, we would have been going crazy with this Gargaroth. Drawing cards, making big boys, having more mana for Selvala, and we chill. Only one thing was tapped. They could have actually tapped more things on purpose just to get more self-mill here. Hourglass Coven. Disgusting. It also draws them a card because it is actually the biggest thing on this battlefield. They're going to get to draft 2 more witches to join their coven. And they have, was that double Hag of Dark Duress? Alright, so I'm going to have to discard a lot during their upkeep. Thanks, I hate it. Yep, things were tapped, things were tapped, things were tapped. Can we get a land? Okay, it's a tap land, but that is still a land. Comes into play. We go for Goldspan or Gargaroth here. They're both very, very similar in what they'd be doing. Goldspan would be ramping for me a little bit more. I like that. So I'm going to go for the Goldspan. We draw. I will draw a card. Still not lands. A little Goldspan swinging in. Getting me a treasure. And this treasure is worth 2 mana. I have to discard twice. I'm going to drop Domri. and the Augur of Autumn. Invasion of Telvada, Cavalier of Night. Cavalier of Night would probably be a great thing for them to bring back, since it is removal. They get to draw a card off Crux and Kunaros, entering the battlefield. It looks like they are going to bring back Cavalier of Night. I assume they will be killing the Goldspan Dragon, since it makes the treasures tap for more, and if my treasures don't tap for 2, then I have a lot less mana. Goodbye, Goldspan Dragon. The Mardu deck is not supposed to have more lands than the Gruul deck. This is criminal. Bloodchief's Thirst. No, my snake! You monster. I take it. And I get milled. More cards in my graveyard. Hey, Kolga and Yadaro. We're gonna go for Etali here. Steal me something good, please. We got a mana dork from us and a mana dork from them. But ours is bigger. And since they were cast, Beast Whisperer is going to draw me more cards. This gives me more fuel. Draw a card. Yes, please. Monkey! Boots. It's good boots. It lets me block. I am going to discard Llanowar Loamspeaker and Ragavan. I know he is my treasured, lovely monkey. Nice, a Cityscape Leveler in the graveyard. Cruxa in the graveyard. They can absolutely escape Cruxa here. They have black, black, red, red. Just have to pay life for it. I'll have to discard even more. But what I want to do is I want to cast Fervent Rejuvenation because this card is a mistake. This is an alchemy-only card that honestly should not exist. If you have something like Etali on the battlefield, it gets 7 random creatures, enchantments, or planeswalkers just from your grave or from your deck. Puts them into play. It's kind of wild. Alright, we're gonna get milled. It doesn't even have, like, it has to cost X or less as part of the requirement. This just gets me 7 non-land permanents. In fact, our opponent is conceding because they know I have it. They know it's a problem. Really, we can only blame Wizards of the Coast for this. I did want to cast it, though. It was going to be cool. We've got Gruul on Gruul action with Minsc and Boo, Timeless Heroes. Another powerful pair tied into a Planeswalker. Minsc and Boo makes a Boo each turn that you don't have a Boo, and also lets you take advantage of that Boo because you can sacrifice it or another creature in order to deal damage and draw cards. You can also just make Boo huge using this plus ability, or other creatures that have, I believe it's Trample or Haste. Yep, Trample or Haste get 3+1/+1 counters. Minsc and Boo is slightly different from its paper counterpart in that it costs 1 more mana, but that is such a minor difference that it's hardly a difference at all. Get out this Topiary Stomper. Keep on ramping. Gonna get more green. Looking good. This can't attack or block, and they do have some very nice aggressive creatures out, as well as they're 1 mana short of this Minsc and Boo. Jar that's able to protect their legends, such as Boo. But thankfully, I do have something that will help me get some damage in on that Minsc and Boo. I'm not sure if I want to throw it down right now. I think I will, though. And then give it the sword next turn. Swinging in with the Questing Beast. The Beast it's questing. It's very nice to have the Sword of Forge and Frontier when you are a Gruul deck against a Gruul deck. Alright, so they kept this back. My guess is that they just wanted to block the Questing Beast. They didn't get another land, so they couldn't play Minsc and Boo. So we're going to throw the Sword of Forge and Frontier on the Questing Beast, make it unblockable, unkillable, and generally a menace to their deck. Anything short of destroying this sword means the game is over for them. Wolf Swanson is playing Tamiyo, Collector of Tales. Tamiyo is a planeswalker who often takes lots of extra turns, and she got kind of notorious in the standard she was legal in for helping recast Nexus of Fate over and over and over and over and over and over. I like this hand. It has ramp. It has ramp and it has ramp. All of these and a lightning bolt on top. Our opponent gets to choose though. If they want to mulligan. I'm not mulligan again. I love having all this mana and a bolt. In case they have a Llanowar Elf, I will be ready to kill it. A command tower. Well, check this out. Arboreal Grazer. Gonna bring the Stomping Ground into play. It comes in tapped. I'm not paying the 2 life. Man Tower Island. And an old man who likes to counter non-creature spells. First of all, how dare you? Lotus Cobra. Some of this. Some of that. Some of you. I'm going to make my red and green spells cost less. Right now, the only non-creature spell I have in my hand is Lightning Bolt. And I can certainly try to get rid of it. Do you sacrifice? I can pay the 3. They do not. They'll be able to bring this back as a 2/2 flyer that makes their non-creature spells uncounterable. Not that I really do much countering here. Okay, they're thinking about things. They're thinking and stinking. Yes. Would you like to kill something? What's happening here? Maybe they have one of those little flash critters. I want to flash out, kill my snake. That would be very rude. Colossal Sky Turtle. They're actually putting the Anarchomancer back in my hand. And I will play it again. Next turn, we do have Etali ready to go. Just gotta make sure these are all live and that I play this mountain. Come on, bring that Malevolent Hermit back out. I want you to be tapped out so I don't get countered. Please, no counter spells. Please, no counter spells. Oh, Proliferate. Cool, that's not a counter spell. Play a mountain, make a land. Here comes Etali. Let's see what we can steal off each player's deck. It's Gwenna into the north. Ramp and ramp. I'll take it and I'll take it. See, look, into the north being stolen and I'm the one who has snowlands. Perfect. I'm not going to play the Kami of Bamboo Groves. I think that at this point in the game, It's a lot better for me to use this for the channel ability of getting 2 extra forests in my hand. So now we have an Etali. It's here. It's a 7/7. And our opponent is not in colors that have board wipes. For 6 mana, there's a River's Rebuke. For 5 mana, I think Brawl's Expertise could bounce a few of these. But if you put Etali back in my hand, I'm just going to cast it again, and I'm going to get to steal more cards. Also, Gwenna would get bigger. Are you passing back to me? Not even going to bring out this Hermit. This old man. If you play Tamiyo, I will attack Tamiyo. No, they're just passing forward. I feel like it's a very likely thing they'll be able to put this back in my hand or counter this ability. But also, I really want to transform Etali. So I will. And I did. If Etali hits and deals, you know, a little bit of damage, we will win. Root Snare. Ah, Turbo Fog, as Tamiyo was meant to be. So Etali is now an 11/11 with Trample Indestructible, and any damage it deals to an opponent also gives poison counters. How terrifying. Hey everyone! Get in here! You have another Fog! Last chance. Haze of Pollen. And here I was, ready to use Castle Embereth. Coverline Gorge. Ooh. Ooh, you're getting on my nerves, Tamiyo. The Benevolent Geist. Oh, and a concession. Yeah, they're out of fogs. Even if they played Tamiyo and brought those back, they don't have enough mana to cast them. So, we win. Good game? Maybe. I don't know. I don't think that was a good game. I think that was a bad game. We won, though. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Brawl Stars. As always, if you'd like to watch me record these live, you should come over to twitch.tv/Amazonian. It's my main channel, and it's where I stream Magic pretty much every single day. I usually take Tuesdays off, but a lot of the times I'm streaming on Tuesday anyway because I think it's fun. I love playing Magic. If there's a commander from March of the Machine you would like to see, or the Multiverse Legends, you should let me know in the comments section. I've also been doing polls on my Twitch channel asking who we should build. Sometimes it'll come down to just 3 or 4 different ones, and it's like, hey, what do you, who's watching right now, really want to see a deck for? And you get to help make the decision of what we next have as a Brawl Star. Thank you again so much for watching, and have a brawlful day.